Have you heard the story about the light bulb that never burned out? It's a true story. Well, mostly true. This light bulb has captured the imagination of many people over the years, sparking curiosity and wonder. There's a light bulb in a fire station in Livermore, California. This isn't just any ordinary light bulb. It's known as the Centennial Light. It's been burning for over 120 years. Yes, you heard that right. Over a century of continuous light. That's a really, really long time. How is that possible? How can a light bulb outlast generations of people and technological advancements? Well, it got people thinking. Scientists, historians, and curious minds alike have pondered this mystery. Was it just really well made? Perhaps the craftsmanship and materials used back then were superior. Or was there something else going on? Could there be a secret to its longevity that we haven't uncovered yet? This story makes us think about light bulbs. They're everywhere. From our homes to our streets, light bulbs illuminate our world. We need them to see. They are an essential part of our daily lives, providing light at the flick of a switch. But they don't last forever. We've all experienced the frustration of a bulb burning out at the most inconvenient times. Most light bulbs burn out after a few months or years. Why is that? What makes them so different from the Centennial Light? Why don't they last as long as the Livermore bulb? Is it a matter of design, materials, or something else entirely? Could it be that companies make them that way on purpose? Let's find out. Join us as we delve into the fascinating history and potential secrets behind the light bulb that never burned out.
Before electric light bulbs, people used candles and oil lamps. Imagine that. These were messy and dangerous. Then along came Thomas Edison. He's often given credit for inventing the light bulb, but it wasn't just him. Many inventors were working on electric light at the same time. Edison's light bulb used a special filament. A filament is a thin wire that glows when electricity passes through it. Edison's filament was made of carbonized bamboo. This filament lasted longer than earlier designs. Electric light bulbs were a huge improvement. They changed the world. Edison's invention of the light bulb was a groundbreaking moment in history. It not only illuminated homes and streets but also sparked the birth of an entirely new industry. Soon after, companies sprang up to manufacture and sell these revolutionary light bulbs. The competition among these companies was intense, as each one aimed to dominate the market. Engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to improve the design and efficiency of light bulbs. Each company wanted to create the most reliable and long-lasting product. But it wasn't just about making the best light bulbs, it was also about selling as many as possible. Companies invested heavily in marketing and packaging to attract customers. One strategy to boost sales was to ensure that light bulbs were durable and long-lasting. This way, customers would trust the brand and remain loyal. However, if light bulbs lasted too long, people wouldn't need to buy new ones frequently. This posed a dilemma for companies looking to maximize profits. Some companies began to think differently. They wondered, what if they could increase sales by making light bulbs that didn't last as long? By designing light bulbs to burn out faster, they could ensure a steady demand for replacements, thus boosting their sales. This meant that consumers would have to purchase new light bulbs more often, driving up the company's profits. This strategy might seem underhanded, and indeed it was, but it became a common practice among some of the leading companies in the industry. Eventually, a group of powerful companies decided to formalize this approach. They came together in secret meetings to discuss their plans. These companies signed a clandestine agreement, setting the stage for a new era in the light bulb industry. They deliberately limited the lifespan of their light bulbs, ensuring that consumers would need to buy replacements more frequently. This secretive group became known as the Feebas Cartel, a name that would go down in history as a symbol of corporate manipulation and greed.
Section 5. Shortening the life of a light bulb. How did they shorten the lifespan of a light bulb? It's all about the filament. Remember, the filament is the part that glows. They made the filament thinner. A thinner filament burns out faster. They also use different materials for the filament. Some materials don't last as long as others. The Feebas Cartel's actions were a classic example of planned obsolescence. This means designing products to become obsolete or unusable after a certain period. This strategy is still used today. We'll talk more about that later.
Section 6. Planned obsolescence, a business strategy. This strategy has been a topic of debate for many years. Planned obsolescence is a way for companies to make more money. By designing products with a limited lifespan, they ensure a steady stream of revenue. It sounds bad, and it often is. Consumers are left frustrated and feeling cheated when their products fail prematurely. Companies create products that will break or become outdated quickly. This is done intentionally to drive sales and keep the market moving. This forces consumers to keep buying new products. They have no choice but to replace their broken or outdated items. It's a cycle of buying, using, and replacing. This cycle benefits the companies, but often at the expense of the consumer. There are different types of planned obsolescence. Each type has its own way of ensuring that consumers keep coming back for more. One type is functional obsolescence. This is when a product is designed to stop working after a certain time, forcing the consumer to buy a new one. This is when a product is designed to stop working after a certain time. It's a deliberate tactic to ensure repeat purchases. Another type is perceived obsolescence. This is a more subtle approach but equally effective. This is when a company makes you feel like your product is old or outdated, even if it still works fine. They create a sense of inadequacy. They do this through advertising and by releasing new models with only minor changes. The goal is to make you feel like you need the latest version, even if the old one works perfectly well.
Section 7. From light bulbs to smartphones, modern examples. Planned obsolescence is everywhere today. It's not just light bulbs anymore. Think about smartphones. New phones come out all the time. They have new features and sleeker designs. The companies want you to buy a new phone every year or two. But do you really need to? Printers are another example. Some printers have chips in them. These chips track the number of pages printed. After a certain number of pages, the printer stops working. You have to buy a new printer even if the old one still prints fine. This is wasteful and frustrating for consumers. Section 8. The environmental cost of planned obsolescence. Planned obsolescence is bad for the environment. Think about all the waste it creates. We throw away tons of electronics every year. These electronics end up in landfills. They contain harmful materials that can pollute the environment. Manufacturing new products also uses a lot of energy and resources. It takes energy to extract raw materials, manufacture products, and transport them around the world. This contributes to pollution and climate change. We need to find ways to reduce our consumption and waste.
Section 9. The right to repair movement. People are fighting back against planned obsolescence. There's a growing movement called the right to repair movement. This movement advocates for consumers' right to repair their own products. It also supports legislation that requires manufacturers to make parts, tools, and repair information available to consumers and independent repair shops. The right to repair movement has gained momentum in recent years. People are tired of being forced to buy new products when their old ones break. They want the option to repair their devices themselves or take them to independent repair shops. This movement is about saving money, reducing waste, and taking control of our technology.
Section 10. Fighting back against planned obsolescence. What can you do to fight back against planned obsolescence? First, be a conscious consumer. Do your research before you buy something. Look for products that are durable and repairable. Consider buying used or refurbished products. Support companies that are committed to sustainability and ethical manufacturing practices. Second, support the right to repair movement. Contact your elected officials and urge them to pass right to repair legislation. Support organizations that are working to promote repair and reduce electronic waste. Together we can create a more sustainable and just future. Section 11. Conclusion: a brighter future. Planned obsolescence is a serious problem. It's a business strategy that creates waste, harms the environment, and costs consumers money. But there is hope. By becoming more aware of planned obsolescence and taking action, we can make a difference. We can support sustainable practices, demand the right to repair our products, and create a brighter future for generations to come. Remember the Livermore light bulb. Let's strive for a world where products are built to last.